Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So I uploaded a short about the GTX 680 that I got and it now running again. So this is the current state of the 780. And yeah, I don't think this card is actually coming back. I think with a high possibility that this core, when the original short on the PCB occurred, got a shot of very high voltage and is actually completely dead. That's always a possibility if you buy a card that had a blown up MOSFET, especially a high side. Usually these cards are okay, but the short on this card turned out to be far more extensive than I thought. So yeah, so basically why I've arrived at this conclusion is that right now all the VRMs are running. Like the card should post, but it doesn't. It's also not like, I mean, all the voltages are there. All the VRMs, like the card is getting all the voltages it needs to run, but it just doesn't. And I also tested different PCI Express slots from the chipset and the CPU. Tested with this riser that you see here. Tested with the second card in the system using that as display out and seeing if it gets detected in Device Manager. It's not getting detected. So yeah, I guess part of why I'm making this video is maybe someone in the comments knows what I can do in this case, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna put this card away until I maybe one day have an idea what to do with it. Because right now I don't think I can repair it. Or well, repair, this doesn't really look like a repair, this looks more like, I mean it literally is a zombie mod. So yeah, so I guess let's go over what I did. So the EVGA ePower 5 is, you see there's only 3 connections because this is just for testing. It's not for running benchmarks. I just want to see a picture, but I couldn't even get that. So that's why there's only 3 connections. So the EVGA ePower is powering the core and the memory. And then this GTX 580 VRM over here, that one is e-powering the PAX rail, because that one was doing weird stuff. So, and then it's kind of hard to lift it up. Can I get the camera closer? You can see there, I did actually end up digging out the short from the card. So I thought only that this power stage was, I think, connected to the 8-pin. And so I removed the input inductor for the 8-pin, so no more 12 volts was getting to this power stage. And before I connected all the e-powers and stuff, I just wanted to turn the card on. The moment I turned this on, this started to spark, the memory VRM started to catch fire, and the PCI Express 12 volt input inductor cracked. So obviously this didn't just short out the 8-pin 12 volt, it shorted, in fact, out every single input rail. It shorted out all the 12 volts rails and 3.3 volts. All of it was shorted out. So yeah, I took a Dremel. You can see it's very rough because I don't really have a fine Dremeling tool. But yeah, I dug into the PCB and the short is now gone. 3.3 volts still has a very low resistance for whatever reason, but it runs. The PAX rail and BIOS chip power was connected to 3.3 volts, all of those are running. It just seems to have a rather low resistance now. And over 12 volt rails are okay now. I removed all the input inductors for 12 volts, so essentially nothing should draw 12 volt power on this card. 3.3 volt is the only thing that's left for all the onboard circuitry. Basically the only onboard circuitry that's left is fan power, I think, and then BIOS chip power. Though I'm not actually sure, fan power should be able to go up to 12 volts. I don't know, maybe the PCI Express 12 volts powers something else before it goes to the shunt and input inductor, maybe. But yeah, fan power on this card is still running, BIOS chip power is still running. PAX rail I e-powered because that was doing weird stuff. Actually on the GTX 680 I repaired, more like fixed. This same thing happened, just on the 680 it randomly comes and then disappears. So what I presume is the PEX rail on the 680. I'm actually not sure because the 680 has two little buck converters. One of them is always at 1.04 volts and the other one is like fluctuating a lot. And the one that's fluctuating a lot, sometimes it locks itself to 0.65 volts and then the card doesn't post. When it doesn't lock itself to 0.65 volts, then it runs and is anywhere between 1 volt and 1.5 volts. This thing was doing the same thing, but it doesn't have the thing where it randomly starts and stops working. It just always was at 0.65 volts, except when I used it on this riser here and didn't connect it to a PCI Express slot. So this thing was not connected to anything. Then it would run, but as soon as I connect this to a PCI Express slot, it's locked at 0.65 volts. I don't know why that happens. It's just the thing, it seems. So yeah. So I just thought, well, I'm just gonna e-power it with this GTX 580 VRM, which is totally overkill. I could have used one of the small buck converters, but I didn't really feel like I already had this set up because I tested, like I used this to feed voltage into the memory VRM to see if it was shorted or not. So this was already set up. I just connected it to the output of the inductor there, which is like weird. Like the output is facing away from the core for whatever reason. So this is set to 1.25, which yeah, that should be enough. Like the 680, the fluctuating rate, it like booted at 1 volt, and then the longer the card ran, the higher it got until it like topped out at 1.4 with occasional spikes to 1.5. Yeah, so 1.2 should be enough to post, but it doesn't. Yeah. So PEX voltage is running, core is running, memory is running, BIOS chip power still works from the integrated one, even fan power works. At this point, I don't know what I should do. Like, everything is running, but it's just not posting. So that's why I'm thinking the core is just dead. Like there's always a possibility if you buy a card that had a short circuit, that something that's not supposed to get high voltage got high voltage and died because of that. So I think that's what happened with this card. So you could theoretically fix it by just replacing the core, but at this point I just get a different card, which I might actually do. Like I found another card on eBay with the same PCB that just seems to be a heat gun one. Like that card is not shorted, it just like doesn't install drivers, so that's just like heat gun and hope for the best. The card might die if I stress it a lot, but it like the PCB will be fine. So yeah. As for this card, I'm not gonna throw it away. I just gonna put it to my I don't know what to do with it yet pile. So if someone in the comments has like an idea what to do, or if I myself get an idea from somewhere, I'm gonna take it back out. What I will do is remove the e-powers because yeah, I could use them for other things. But yeah, I won't throw the card away. So if maybe one day I find a way, I'm gonna take this back out and then try again. But for now, it seems that this card is just not coming back. But at least the 680 works. Like the 680 might actually also need an ePower for the PEX thing, because I might not be yeah, I might not be satisfied with dealing with the random sometimes it doesn't post thing. But yeah, apart from that, the 680 is fine. So yeah. So I guess that's it for the video. It's not really, yeah, it's 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say. Like, if any one of you has an idea, just put it in the comments, I think. Other than that, I'm gonna assume this card is dead, though I won't throw it away. So, yeah, that would be it. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, or more like, hope you have an idea what to do with this. And until next time, goodbye.